Although meditation is the foundation of Hindu spiritual practice, it has been totally neglected, and there are very few acharyas and guru that actually focus on teaching this practice. But it is our great good fortune that the Buddhists have preserved in technique and actively propagate it. So for beginners, I suggest you join a Vipassana mediation group in your local city to learn the basics. The key text which deals with meditation is the Yoga Sutra of Maharishi Patanjali. Meditation is also addressed in the Gita in the chapter entitled Dhyana Yoga. What is termed meditation in English has 4 stages, the preliminary of course being sitting in a comfortable posture, asana, and practicing synchronicity of breathing, pranayama. Pratyahara, sitting in a comfortable posture with the spine erect, one begins to withdraw one's attention from external stimuli while paying attention the breath. Every time the mind wander, you bring it back to the breath. One can also use a mantra like Soham or even Om Shanti to regulate the breath. The breath is connected to the mind, so to quieten the mind one needs to regulate the breath. Dharana means a focusing of the now quiet mind by using a mantra or any other device to center the thoughts upon. In Tantra, the recommended technique is to use the images of the gods and goddesses or an image of one's tutelary deity, Istha-devata, visualized within the heart or above the head. Christians can use a pleasant image of peaceful Jesus. Remember, what you meditate upon you become, so the purpose is to achieve an identification with the deity. Using the image of a wrathful or suffering deity has its consequences unless under the direction of a competent guide. Muslims can use the image of throne Arsh while reciting the names of Allah. These 2 stages are the active part of meditation, the third one is passive, i.e. it happens. Dhyana, when one become completely focused on the whole process like a sportsman or a cyclist or squash player, when one becomes merged with the flow and is unaware of anything else. Sportsmen call it being in the zone. Samadhi means total absorption, and this comes only after a very, very long time of regular practice of the first 3 stages. It can take many years to achieve. As strange as it would appear, there may be more meditation practitioners outside India, and with a lot of guidance on the internet and indeed on Quora. The first step is to lose the notion that you are the mind and its contents, followed by observing consciousness itself centered on the heart chakra. Be the passive observer and allow living consciousness to flow over you. I often meditate in a standing posture, as was common in China. At other times when out walking. The Vijnana Bhairava Tantra is a beautiful book which gives many meditation options, one of which will be perfect for you. Very well worth seeking out the translation from Sanskrit into your language. The whole of life is one long meditation if you apply your full awareness to whatever you are doing, or not doing, right here, right now. If you are feeling the inspiration from inside, then you already have your guru. All that remains is to practice regularly. If you need further guidance, the universe will step in as and when you're ready. Meditation is based on Samkhya philosophy. So basic idea of Samkhya is must. Our experience is made up of objects arranged in a framework of time and space. First thing you have to understand is that this framework is our understanding. So they do not exist in reality. That is why reality is sukshma or subtle, which means beyond the dimensions of time and space. For true knowledge, we need to figure out what the reality is like, which needs to be comprehended in time and space, through the eyes of a subject, I. The objects we see are called the artha. They are created in our mind, in the same way they are created in our dreams. They are created because our subtle senses, indriya, interact with subtle objects of the reality. These subtle objects are called the vishaya. With this basic concepts we can understand the principles of mediations. I will directly start with pratyahara. Pratyahara is a stage when we withdraw our senses from the vishayas and empty the mind of the arthas. This takes time. Once we are successful, we reach a stage when we are left with a sense of being in time and space. Here we have successfully transcended our ego. At this stage we can hold on to a thought without any distraction of mind, dharana. Now comes the most important step, which makes the real difference. One needs to give a push to destroy the illusion of world. Very few are able to do that. Success takes to sadhak practitioner beyond time and space and gives the ability to think subtle, sukshma drishti. I do not know why there is no mention of this event in the meditation books. Now one has to conceptualize the reality with subtle concepts tattva. Because the thoughts have now transcended time, space and ego, true vision of reality is possible. The process is called dhyana. The completion of this stage gives the Sadik Brahma Jnan, where there is no triad of experience, experienced and the subject who experiences. There is a next stage. This is called Ishvara Darshan. Let that be a suspense.